I've been digging into RAG and I just wanted to show you my first attempt at it. RAG is Retrieval Augmented Generation, and it essentially gives an AI a knowledge base to pull from. In this case, it finds the relevant paragraphs of the Catechism and adds it to the prompt. You can see quite a difference between not including the sections and including them. These are apparently the three most relevant paragraphs from the Catechism. You can see here I'm timing it. The retrieval takes less than a tenth of a second, and then the generation takes about 10 seconds, give or take. If you take a look at the code, it is really only about 40 lines in total. The rest of the code is me keeping the other versions so I can compare. One model is processing the prompt, and then searching through a database to find the closest paragraphs from the Catechism. And then a second model is then what is answering your question. And so if you want to scroll down this, my initial version, I just said, using this information, respond to the following prompt. Pretty good. I've gotten a few failures where the model said, according to the information given, this, but I think that. Those types of failures. And so in version 1, I have, a system prompt. You are a Catholic assistant. You want to be faithful to Catholic teaching, and you will be given information from the Catechism. The good responses aren't considerably better than the good responses from version 0, but it fails a lot more often because it has this context of what it is doing. To create the embeddings for the Catechism, I mostly followed this tutorial from Olama. This type of model, that first model I had, takes text and creates a vector that represents what the text means. When you're retrieving, the model creates a vector of the prompt and then finds the closest neighbors in that vector space. ChromaDB is a database that is built for embeddings and doing RAG, but it seems like it's just using SQLite, so I am kind of curious to try to see if I can put together my own solution using just SQLite. For the embeddings model, I used this all mini LM. This is an incredibly small model at 22 million parameters. This is why it was able to go so fast. Again, create the embeddings and then retrieving the relevant sections in less than a tenth of a second. For the responses, I am using a Qwen model. I'm using the 500 million parameter model of Qwen 2.5. Again, tiny model. This is where I'm kind of most impressed with the result of this RAG. I'm just running this on my laptop. There's no GPU that it's using. And so just from my laptop, the CPU, this is able to respond with fairly decent answers in about 10 seconds. And to give you some context, ChatGPT, those types of models are in the hundreds of billions of parameters. So this is about 1/1000th of the size. There are a few things I want to improve. I want to clean up the Catechism data as it's a little sloppy. I want to include paragraph numbers so that I can show references and remove any of the in brief sections, as the short summaries aren't very helpful. Further down the road, if I start compiling some good responses, I want to fine-tune the model so that it can better answer the prompts as intended. So RAG is pretty cool. I'm planning to explore some different ways to use it. If you've got any ideas, any suggestions, feel free to throw them in the comments. Thanks.